Hello and welcome to the Stuff of Legends. Welcome to another Hasbro Pulse Marvel Legends fan stream. We are part of the Marvel Legends team here with you today. I am Ryan in marketing, joined by Dwight in design. Dwight, how's it going?
Going great, man. I missed you.
Good to see you. We're reunited finally. Shout out to Dan Yoon, yo. He's back at home. I'm sure he's probably live tweeting this. So Dan, we'll chat with you soon. So yeah, we're coming off of San Diego Comic-Con, which was awesome. Dwight unfortunately wasn't able to make it there with us. We missed you, the fans missed you, but you had something else planned.
Yeah, I missed you guys too, but I had a massive family vacation in the books way before we even knew if we were going to be at Comic-Con this year, and I just couldn't work around it. But thanks to Ryan and Dan, I was able to join you guys virtually a couple days, which was really fun and something new and different for me too. But hopefully I'll be back with you guys in person soon enough, so you guys can ask all your questions and get into it.
Yeah, now that we're back after 2 years of not being at conventions, it was awesome to return, and Dwight will be back with us shortly. But just wanted to recap San Diego, guys. It was awesome. There's a level of excitement at a convention setting that's just you can't get anywhere else. And it was awesome catching up with old friends, making a lot of new ones. Just wanted to quickly say thank you to our special guests who were nice enough to spend some time with us in the Hasbro booth. So first up, Dan Slott came by for a signing. I think everyone's really excited to see what he has in store for Spider-Man. He's returning to Spider-Man later this fall. Thank you to Eric and Julia Leewald from the X-Men animated series. We're super excited for X-Men 97. They're going to be playing a role in that later in 2023, I believe, on Disney+. And also thanks to Dan Wiesenmeyer, who was the artist on our X-Men 90s animated VHS-style packaging series. So we did a signing with Eric, Julia, and Dan all together, and fans really loved the X-Men stuff, as they do.
Now I'm jealous.
Yeah. And I know you missed seeing our good friend Jesse Falcon at the panel.
Yep.
Thanks to Jesse for joining us at the San Diego Comic-Con panel presentation upstairs, as he does every year. It's always great fun to see Jesse in person and hang out with him. And it was actually, it was the first time we had seen Jesse in a couple years in person. So that was awesome. Yeah, so one of the coolest things about that week were fans coming up to us and just saying, hey, hey, it's the Marvel Legends team. We really enjoy watching your guys' live streams. And that was so rewarding to hear, because we put a lot of effort into these, not just the Marvel Legends team, but the Pulse team, the LFB production team behind the camera, who you guys don't always see. And it is a labor of love. And so on the flip side, we know how tough content creation is. So we really appreciate all the photographers, reviewers, and streamers out there in the Legends community. And I just think, personally, that what elevates this personal hobby of collecting things into a supportive and inclusive community is a shared joy of collecting. It's something that we all love to do, right? And so while opinions can and do vary a lot of the times on a wide range of topics, right? That mutual respect for one another is kind of what allows this community to really thrive. And so thank you to the fans for chatting with us at San Diego and on social and sharing your suggestions with us as we strive together to make Legends better for everyone. And so, for example, right, in 2021 last year in the Infinity Saga program, I believe that Age of Ultron Quicksilver was the headliner of that whole program, whereas Dwight felt differently. Who was your favorite?
I was a big fan of Surtur.
He was a big fan of Surtur. I don't agree with Dwight, but I respect his opinion, because that Surtur figure was awesome as well. So yeah, guys, let's just jump into it today. Just to set expectations right, we will not be talking about HasLab today. We are saving that for a little bit down the road, not too long, but the Hiss Tank is still going on, so we're not going to step on their toes. They're still got a couple days left, so more to come on HasLab. What we're going to do is really quickly recap some of the things that we showed at the end of San Diego. Dwight wasn't there, so I want to ask him a couple of questions about those items, and then we do have new reveals. We do don't tune out early. Stick around to the end. We always like to throw in some special treats at the end too. So. First up, let's jump into a recap of Black Panther, I believe. So let's talk about Black Panther Legacy. So first up, we're doing this Legacy program this year for some of the fans who maybe weren't collecting Legends back in 2018 when the first film came out. So we have an assortment of Legacy figures, all based on the first film. We've got Black Panther in his vibranium suit. We've got Killmonger, Nakia, and Shuri, all from the first film. And then there's some exclusives as well. We've got M'Baku at Target, and we've got the non-vibranium Black Panther version at Walmart. And both of those exclusives are available for pre-order on their respective retailers, and go get the Legacy collection of 4 on the Hasbro Pulse. And also in the Legacy program, it's behind me. I just wanted to plug it again in case you weren't with us at San Diego. So this is our Black Panther helmet, an updated version. Dwight, what's new about this one?
It's the same shell that you guys would remember from the last time if you picked it up, but we added purple LEDs to it this time. Sorry, as I smack it. There we go. The first time we had based the helmet off of concept art, and the concept art was a blue power vibranium glow. Later when we saw the film, we saw that that was updated to purple. So getting a chance to revisit this now and give it the proper purple vibranium glow to make it more film accurate. And it's just really, I don't know, the purple looks gorgeous with the black. It's just kind of a nice update. And now if you missed it the first time, you have a chance to go back and grab it. Or if you already have the original one, you can get a more film accurate version with the purple vibranium glow.
Yeah, we think it really stands out on your shelf. amongst all your Iron Man helmets and Captain America shields.
Absolutely.
Black Panther's helmet is pretty unique looking. So go pre-order your Black Panther helmet if you haven't already. And then of course the big reveal on Sunday. We had to hold it back until Sunday morning because the Marvel Studios Hall H panel was on Saturday late in the end. So we revealed the whole Wakanda Forever kid and fan line. So I wanted to quickly recap the Atuma Build-A-Figure wave, which is headlined by 3 movie characters, right? So first we have the leader of the Dora Milaje. We have Okoye here with new pinless double-jointed elbows. We've got a really new looking suit for Nakia. Talk them just through what it was like when we first saw this reference and how she has two portraits there.
Yeah, it was Okoye's a great leader of the Dora Milaje, and the first time we did her was once again built off of concept art back for Black Panther 1. Now we were able to go back, use the actual film outs, and make a much more film accurate version. And along with doing that, we updated the articulation to be more in standard with what we're trying to do wherever we can. So she now has the double elbows, more articulation, a much more accurate garb across her armor and costuming, and she just looks fantastic. And then Nakia from the Wakanda Forever film, she got this cool aquatic look with the alternate helmet. So it was just really fun seeing that one evolve from concept art to final costuming and trying to figure out how to pay respects to all of the amazing colors in that suit.
And I think it's my favorite in the wave. Can't wait to see how he's introduced on screen, but take us through Namor here.
Yeah, Namor is another, super popular, super, important character in Marvel, and getting a chance for him to make his MCU debut is always fantastic. So here you go, you have the version of Namor from the films. He's got lots of gold embellishment across his arms, collar, and belt. He's got his classic swim trunks, which you would expect, his winged feet, and a really impressive spear for him because, he's always got his spear, trident, some sort of stabby weapon. It's Namor's thing.
Yeah, and in some of the pictures I noticed online, they're from certain angles, so you don't actually see all the wings because they're kind of tapered in closely, but as you can see, he's got, 2 wings on each side of his ankle, so 4 total. And then, right, because he isn't wearing like a shirt basically, we've got the articulation scheme there.
Exactly.
For that. And that is this wave is highlighted by the Atuma Build-A-Figure, who I think we'll learn a lot more in the film, of course. And a cool story was that Bill, a friend of ours over at Marvel, brought over the actor who plays Atuma, Alex Livanali, to the booth kind of quietly one day, and I showed him the Atuma figure in the back, and it was the first time he had seen it, and he was really geeking out over it. It's always fun when you've got this big, literally big actor, and he's holding his toy, being like, wow, this is me for the first time. That's pretty special.
Yeah, I mean, you like Namor, I gotta go with Atuma as my favorite in this wave. I mean, he's got a hammerhead skull for his crown. I mean, come on.
He's got an awesome crown. He's got 2 weapons, one of which he's holding here.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, we're super excited for this wave as we jump into kind of the movie marketing season for this film. And this wave is currently available for pre-order on the Hasbro Pulse and other retailers. So go get your Wakanda Forever movie wave. And before I forget, just one more note. So there's 2 comic figures in this wave, one of which is the new comic Black Panther, which I think is my favorite comic Black Panther. And Dwight, talk through how kind of we're using that new Vulcan body, right?
Yeah, this is in my opinion, the best classic Panther we've ever done. It's built on our Vulcan body. It has his short cape with the rope wrap, new head sculpt, and new forearm and boot sculpts, which have the recessed grooves to give you that quilted pattern that you know from all classic Black Panther comics. So the proportions are just better than anything we've seen to this point. It's pinless, full articulation. It's probably my favorite. It's definitely my, I mean, I know there's not a lot of classic in this wave, but he's one of my favorite characters in this wave in general.
All right, so that is the Black Panther recap. Let's jump on to something that happened recently, but after San Diego. It was the reveal and pre-order of the Amazon exclusive Venom, Agony, and Riot 3-pack. So I just wanted to get Dwight's take on these as well. If we want to pull those up,
Sure.
So yeah, as we look at this here behind me, we've got this awesome battle in a box. First off, Dwight, let's talk about this Venom, the two really, but Venom head sculpts. There's that one of him transforming, half Eddie, half symbiote. I was just looking at it again today, and there's so much detail that I even didn't notice the first time around. But what's it like, you know, doing a really crazy alternate head like that?
Yeah, this is my favorite Venom that we've done so far. It's something that we listened to the fan community through, you know, our Twitter and Instagram. Kind of, you guys were asking for more of the Omega Red body. We did a Venom a year ago for Comic-Con, PulseCon, with the cell shading. And there was some other comments that you guys mentioned about the ports on them. So we actually took some of your guys, I wish I could remember who actually had posted it. I sadly cannot. But you guys had mentioned, you know, filling the ports, which we didn't have time to the first time just because we were moving so fast. But we heard you, and we added these little symbiote things coming out of his shoulders, which are just a great way to kind of add a little bit more of that ick. And it works perfectly with this new head that Ryan was just talking about, where the symbiote is wrapping up around Eddie's head. Really, really awesome detailing on the face, and the jaw with the teeth and the tongue all wrapping around the bottom of his jaw as Eddie gets enveloped by the Venom symbiote. But that's not all, obviously. We always like to add our extra parts when we can. So we also have a Venom with the long tongue and a couple of fists to go along with his claw hands. So our most deluxe version of Venom so far, what we think is one of the best base bodies to use for this character.
Yeah, great posability, great articulation, and we were talking about the detailing. So there's a little bit of the symbiote kind of coming over on his forehead here, and then he's got one bloodshot eye, which is really fun and crazy. But yeah, so let's talk about Riot and Agony real quick. Kind of why. Let's start with Riot, right? So there's been a lot of discussion on the different ways that Riot has been drawn and why the team picked this Monster Venom build for him. So let's just let them in on kind of why we did that.
Yeah, when we were looking at the full team, there are drawn many ways over the years, but in many of the variations, Riot was the largest of the bodies. And since we upgraded Venom to the Omega Red, the Monster Venom was the next scale body that we had to kind of upgrade to. So if you have the whole team, if you have, there you go.
Let's go ahead and
put them all together. You got them all?
Let's put them all together.
All right, so if you got Phage, Scream, Lasher, Agony, Riot, if you put them all next to each other, you have a really nice mix of body proportions and scales.
So she's got big hair, but as you see with Riot being the biggest, we're finally completing the team here. And I believe Lasher was the first one in the comic Lizard Build-A-Figure way from a couple years back. And did you ever think we'd get to all 5 of them?
I hoped.
Yeah?
I hoped. You always got to have hope, man. I mean, that's part of the Marvel Legends mantra, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Hope that we'll get to complete these teams for you guys. So when we do, we get to celebrate and give each other high fives. Boom. Right. Celebration.
Solid high five.
That's it. That's the extent of completing a team.
Well, we hear that fans love completing teams. That's what's so great about Marvel comics and movies. But there's so many teams out there, and when we start a team, it is always in our mind can we ever finish it? And then so when we do, it's really fun to do so. So let's take a look at this this item again. So it's got some awesome packaging work here. So 3 artists collaborated closely with our creative services team, Ben and crew at Hasbro. So we had Ryan Stegman doing the pencils, we had JP Mayer doing the inks, and we had Marte Garcia on the colors. So go check those guys out on Twitter. And Ryan was actually nice enough to post his pencils of this package on his Twitter. So to give fans a behind-the-scenes look at that. So go check out Ryan's Twitter. And thank you to all 3 of them for your amazing work. When we do these box sets, it's a good canvas to have this awesome new custom art that is only for Marvel Legends.
Absolutely.
And it makes me want to save the box even more.
Let's not get carried away, okay?
All right, so that is our Venom 3-pack recap. Let's jump into some other figures that we revealed at Comic-Con. So in the panel, we revealed a couple of deep cut, perhaps, Spider-Man villains. First up, we had the Human Fly with his screaming face. He's taking flight there. Love it when we can add some expressions into the faces. Yeah. And then we've got Razorback standing tall next to him. He's a really big, he's a beefy character, and it was really fun to reveal him in the panel with Robo from the Whoosh, a fellow Arkansas resident. But yeah, whose idea was Razorback for this?
I want to give credit to Razorback, to our engineer who must not be named.
We won't name him, but he's got all, he brings a lot of the ideas.
Yes, he does. Yeah, no, I think this was one of the, it's kind of like weird morts that he's wanted to see for a long time, and then when we came up with the idea for this crazy mix of characters that you've seen 2 so far, that was one of his additions.
That's right, so we've got 2 more. So these are the new reveal portion of the fan stream. So thank you guys for hanging in with us, but let's jump into some reveals. So first up, joining this Rogues Gallery, I believe, is Molten Man. So this is a character who we've actually seen in the MCU back in Spider-Man, what was it, Far From Home, but he was actually part of Mysterio's illusions, but it was still this crazy looking, gross molten figure, and it was a Build-A-Figure. But here is the classic comic iteration. We can see him on screen. Dwight, walk him just through Molten Man. And he's been on our radar for a while.
Yeah, especially since the film kind of brought him more to the forefront. But what we have here is an entirely translucent yellow, gold, metallic Molten Man. He has fire creeping up the back sides of his hands. He has a fire piece not shown here that can rest on his shoulders since he's constantly just kind of burning because of his temperature. And a really great kind of a classic head sculpt with that flat top to match some of the handbook kind of drawings of him back in the day. So a great addition, something brand new as far as classic characters go to your Legends lineup.
Let's turn to maybe probably the funkiest looking one, I would say, of the bunch. But here's another reveal for the 4th villain coming out.
All right.
Who's this guy? What's his deal?
We have good old Silvermane here. Silvermane proper. We gave you his head on an RC car from the Superior Foes of Spider-Man book a while ago, and that version never had a proper body. So that's what we're giving you today. We have Silvermane with some new parts, some old robot body parts, which is great because he's an old dude. So old dude with old robot parts. He looks great, kind of brought to life. He'll come with a couple of large-sized blasters. And now you get one of your mob bosses to, in proper form, to add to your collection of villains to battle Spider-Man.
He's got all that facial wrinkling, and it's an awesome application of the photoreal deco on comic figures. Yeah,
because I think the last time his head was it was pre-photoreal, so this technology definitely ups the game, as you guys can see on the figure here or on the press pictures as well.
So when we have this assembly of Spider-Man villains, they're going to need someone to fight, essentially. So we are putting out a new Spider-Man that's cool for a lot of ways. So let's just show them. This is what would we describe it? An ultimate style, like a smaller buck Spider-Man returning to that?
Yeah, we haven't used our Kid Buck for a while, so we thought this was a great opportunity to bring him back out in a spider form. And taking lead from the Ultimates universe, where the symbiotic costume there had more of a purplish sheen, the way it was illustrated in the books, we brought that to the figure. So you have a smaller, fully articulated Spider-Man figure in like a deep kind of purple to round out the set.
Yeah, it's really interesting deco. It's very deep purple, it's very metallic looking, it's got an awesome spider symbol on the front and back, going all the way across there. We come with some alternate hand pieces, I believe, too, right, Dwight?
Yes.
And so yeah, this is what we've doing. So this is actually going to be a 5-pack. That's the big reveal. And it's going to be an Amazon exclusive. Amazon, we love partnering with them to do these kind of battles in a box. We did the Wolverine versus villains set. That Venom 3-pack is kind of, like that, in that vein, and now this is a 5-pack.
They're fantastic, and I can't wait to show you the next one. When are we talking about the next one?
Next one? Oh, that's for a little more to come. But so this Spider-Man versus Villains 5-pack is going to be available for pre-order on Amazon on August 16th at 1 p.m. So next week. And let's take a look at the packaging in person. I had a sample here. So here you can see it in real life. It's a bigger box because it's a 5-pack, but it's got that kind of comic book style dimensions. And Ryan Stegman and team are back at it with another amazing piece. You see Spider-Man in the center. He has successfully webbed up all 4 of the villains and is leaving them for the authorities and sailing off. So a really fun package, and yeah, thank you to Ryan and the team for another amazing art piece.
Was the Defenders the first one that we did on this kind of style of package size? I love the comic booky
It
feel
is,
of it.
yeah. We did that
cool.
Comic Defenders 4-pack probably 2017, like a while ago. But yeah, we love doing these. So this is your Spider-Man 5-pack. So now let's get into some MCU type stuff. We know we've got a mix of MCU and comic fans. So recapping San Diego Comic-Con, the first things up, I think, were some figures from the Loki show that we revealed. So first up, we revealed a classic Loki, the Richard Grant style with multiple heads. I'm kind of standing in the way here, but you see him there. And so this is just a recap. He's got 2 heads. He's got a couple of spell effect hands. We also revealed He Who Remains. Jonathan Majors, awesome figure. He comes with the tastiest accessory in a while.
Comes with apple, green apple, Granny Smith. I don't know if it's Granny Smith, but it's green.
Green apple, so we've got those 2. And also, I had the Tesseract earlier, but we've got a new Loki figure without his jacket. Let's bring up Loki.
There you go.
And
I guess Granny Smith would be a bit, bold of me, because he's coming from a whole different universe. I don't know if that applies.
Yeah, variant apple.
Variant apple. Yeah, oh, I like that. Variant apple.
So we've got this new Loki figure. You can see them all together. And then let's grab Sylvie. She's on the tray there. So we can kind of complete this Loki Season 1 team. I could not find a Mobius around the office, but he would be standing here too if I could find him. So yeah, you have all these guys together, and that Loki with the Tesseract here in my hand is kind of this figure and role play set, the first of time we're doing this, and that's available for pre-order now. So let's just jump into some other figures. This is going to be, as you might have guessed, a new Disney Plus wave. So we're going to reveal the whole wave today.
Okay.
So buckle in. So who do we have next from that? Let's just cue it up here because I don't have my notes on screen anymore. All right, before that actually, so we're gonna segue this, I remembered. So Howard the Duck, so he was also the last reveal at Comic-Con with an Ant-Man head in a jar as it was in the What If episode. So let's actually take Howard, and we've got T'Challa Star-Lord, because I don't think that these guys these guys might not have been in the actual same episode, but we've got
Correct.
the T'Challa Star-Lord episode 2, I want to say. So here is Howard with
Ankle in place.
this version of Star-Lord, looking great, hanging out at the space bar
Yeah.
with a good Thanos of all. It was like, so that was an awesome episode. And then we bring in the Ant-Man head. This was, of course, from the Zombies universe. And
Zombie universe.
Let's recap some of our zombie What If figures thus far. We've got
right.
Zombie Cap.
Boom.
I think this figure surprised a lot of people just with the detailing, the deco, and some of the sculpt with his kind of like leg. You can see right through the leg there.
Yeah.
One barefoot, one boot foot. And then we've got the hero of this episode. We've got Zombie Hunter Spider-Man. He's one of the few characters in that episode that made it out.
Yeah.
Right?
He made it out with just some mud and splatter on his costume, so he's doing pretty good for himself.
All right, so let's stay in the zombies What If. I'll take Howard and T'Challa Star-Lord and get into our first reveal proper. So first up, I believe here we have it on the screen, we have Zombie Iron Man. Perfect pairing with Zombie Cap, Dwight. This one has an amazing head sculpt and some other details as well.
The head is ridiculous on this one, yeah. He's awesome. This is based from when the episode begins, and he's all in shadow and no one really knows what's happening until he starts eating everybody and everything goes wrong. So he's got an awesome head sculpt. He's got a chunk out of his rib cage on his right side, exposing his ribs. He's got a chunk out of the backside of one of his forearms. And it's just a really, really cool looking, Iron Man. The deep red armor is really looks perfect for him, and one of my favorite ones for the wave.
Yeah, I didn't notice that there was a piece missing from his arm. Did you say here?
Yeah, one of the forearms on the back side.
Kind of tucked under. Show that. So that might not be visible in some of the econ photos.
More exposed bone.
Speaking of zombie figures, there's another one. She was probably the most powerful in that episode. This is
Definitely.
Zombie Scarlet Witch with another crazy hair and head sculpt.
So yeah, Wanda has got a big hair. She has got an all new sculpted coat, all torn and tattered. She's got this massive kind of floaty hair, which is really cool because in the show she was floating around everywhere. and her hair was constantly moving, kind of like it was alive itself. So she's got new head sculpt, new jacket, and lots of ick and grossness kind of added to her deco all across her.
I love that jacket that's just clearly been through a lot, as a lot of the characters in that universe, and you know, the little zombie-esque details from in the forearms, little, you know, pieces sticking through, and she'll come with some accessories, the magic accessories,
yes,
as we normally do with Scarlet Witch. So there you have zombie Iron Man, zombie Scarlet Witch to build to our zombie universe. And I think, you know, part of the animation panel at San Diego Comic-Con, there's going to be more zombies on Disney+. And so if you guys like zombies, let us know, and we'll try to get more of them out there for you.
Sounds like a win.
All right, so
or a loss,
depending on how you look at it. All right, so what's the next figure up? What's the next figure up? I think it's a character that's a really fun one that I think we teased before. So this is also sticking in the What If universe. This is the Red Skull from episode 1, which I think was probably, I know it might not be the prevailing opinion, but I really loved that Captain Carter episode, which we have Captain Carter down there as well. So this is the Red Skull as we saw in that universe. He's got a new head sculpt. It's the coloring and the sculpting is very animated style. So walk him through the Red Skull here.
Yeah, all new Red Skull to battle Peggy, or new for the line. He's got the long coat, he's got the Cosmic Cube, he's got this gorgeous head sculpt in bright red. It's the base body that we've seen. We've used it once before at a Comic-Con exclusive, but then with the classic head, it really takes it to the next level and makes it look, you know, way more show accurate for the What If universe.
Yeah, the Comic-Con exclusive was back in 2018. It was part of the Marvel Studios' first 10 years, going back to the first Captain America and the first Avenger kind of look, but this is based in the What If universe. So that is Red Skull to team up with Peggy and the Hydra Stomper. I've got that back at my desk. So moving on to the next figure in this wave, I think we're leaving What If now. All right, we're going to fan favorite here, Agent Jimmy Woo from WandaVision. We teased a hand holding a card, you know, weeks back, and some people thought it was Gambit, although I love Gambit, and we'll try to get more Gambits in the line. It was Agent Woo and his card trick. So let's take a look at Agent Woo, who's been in both Ant-Man films and WandaVision. So this is his look with his kind of jacket and badge from that show. Yeah,
it's his special agent look. Jacket, he's got his badge around his neck. He's got his card in his hand. He has an alternate, I believe he has an alternate hand as well, so he doesn't have to be flipping the card. But it's a really great likeness. I think it really, what's his name, Randall Park? Randall Park, yeah, brings Randall Park to life. And I'm not doing very well with this.
Here, I'll hold Agent Woo. Let's show him off with Scarlet Witch and Vision. So this was in last year's first Disney Plus wave. We had Scarlet Witch, and we had the white version of Vision as they appeared in that show. So you can have your WandaVision area on shelf 2. There might be a character or two from WandaVision that we hear the fans want.
Yeah.
But, you know, well, stay tuned for more. We hear you.
Yeah.
And we also hear fans, you know, asking about Scarlet Witch from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. We hear that too. So more to come.
Look, there's a lot of entertainment out there, a lot of amazing stuff that Marvel keeps pumping out. There's no possible way for us to get every figure from every show right at the launch of that show. But we fall in love with the characters just like you do. And when we have the opportunity to go back and revisit them, we're happy to put them in there wherever we can to add more to complete teams.
That's right. Tying it all back to that. So I think that if I test my memory on this, those should have been 7 figures in this wave. We've got the classic Loki, we've got He Who Remains, we have Howard the Duck with Ant-Man head, we have Red Skull, now I'm blanking. We had Red Skull, we just talked about Zombie. 2 zombies, Zombie Scarlet Witch, Zombie Iron Man, and Agent Jimmy Woo. So that is 7 characters. We have an awesome Build-A-Figure to show you. This is from Moon Knight, so let's take a look at this awesome large Build-A-Figure Khonshu.
So here we have our fully articulated large-scale Khonshu with his crescent staff. And he obviously will be great to go along with Moon Knight and Mr. Knight. So a couple of more awesome moon-based characters. And Khonshu himself, as you can see, is what, a little bit over 8 inches in height?
Over 8.5, yeah.
Over 8.5,
just
okay.
The top.
So he's a larger scaled figure. He comes with full articulation, pinless on his arms and legs, a large overcloak. His head is on a translucent kind of neck post because his head just kind of floated above his body, and that was the best way we could recreate that kind of fantasy element. So he's got like a clear neck, and then he's got his giant crescent staff, which is a pretty impressive weapon in its own right due to the size of it. So that is Khonshu to go along with Mr. and Moon Knight.
And it's got a lot of great articulation. We have a shot of Khonshu in the pre-order assets of him kind of crouching down with his staff holding. You can get him in those poses even despite being so large and 8.5 inches tall. So Moon Knight show, Khonshu finally.
There you go.
Finally, we've got these 2 figures in Wave 1. That's in the Infinity Ultron wave that is up for pre-order now. So yeah, so that rounds it out. So this Disney Plus Wave 2, you see all 7 of them pictured here, the Khonshu Build-A-Figure wave. This will be available for pre-order on August 11th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Hasbro Pulse and other retailers. So go get them. This is it's fun to do kind of these mix and mashed waves together where we're picking from different shows.
Yeah, it's great just because it gives us some variety and different things to look at and allows us to find freshness across the board, because we know the Marvel consumer base isn't necessarily a fan of just one piece. They like all the different kind of bits and pieces of Marveldom. So to be able to reach across all of those things, find a home for it on these Disney Plus waves is a real fun way to do it.
So that'll wrap it up for the reviews today. Again, guys, this is a busy, exciting time for us. We're coming off of San Diego Comic-Con, which was awesome. We've got this wave dropping this week, and then in a couple weeks we'll be together with you all virtually again at PulseCon. So that's at the end of September. Dan and I and Dwight are working furiously on our PulseCon reveal plans to make sure we've got a lot of cool stuff to show there. And then, you know, we do have a HasLab on the horizon as well. So a lot to come.
Yes.
We did want to thank you as always for tuning in to this fan stream, and Dwight has a teaser, our trademark teaser, to share with you. What do we got?
Yeah, teams, new teams, different teams, all different kinds of teams. So we got this little thing here. It's kind of a little more heads and jars. It's a creepy theme that we got going on here.
Once we have the jar, so we just need to keep making stuff to put into it, I suppose.
Yeah, so head number 2.
So let us know what you think about that. Thank you guys for tuning in and spending some time with us. As always, follow the Hasbro Pulse for the latest Marvel Legends news and pre-orders and hints and everything. And yeah, anything else? We're good?
We're good.
All right, until next time, thanks everyone. We'll see you.